I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is
the Family Showdown! Yeah! That's what I heard out of that.
Is that what you heard?
Hello. Good evening. Welcome to Revisiting 2022.
Do we want to revisit 2022?
Not really, except for the board games. The board games were probably one of the highlights.
Was it bad?
It could burn 1,000 times over and I'd be cool with it.
Really?
Yeah, it was a crazy year. But the board games?
Is that the one
were on
the
point.
roof fell in?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Literally. All right. Crazy.
All right,
so,
folks. We're revisiting.
Games. All right. I see people already lining up and saying they have their list ready. Let's go. Yes, we are updating our list. This is our new
They're calling, some people are saying it's going to be exactly the same.
No.
But,
no.
So, we played 40 good games from last year. And then probably another 20 games that we won't speak about. So we have a pretty good pool of games to play.
No, it was a really good pool of games. I think we got most of the big hitters, too.
Not all of them, but most
Not all of them, but a good chunk of the ones
most
that
of the big ones.
got a lot of hype and buzz and whatnot. So that was fun. Of course, you guys will be able to add your input to those games that we missed because y'all play different games, and that's awesome. And I hope you bring those to the list. We'll see.
All right, so we
y'all
usually do
starting
this
to fill
list
out.
originally. We usually do it at the end of December, the first part of January.
Yep.
And then in June, we redo it. And so we picked to do
Because
it now.
we get a chance to finally catch up.
Because
Play a bunch of those games.
Because
We're
we'll
missing.
talk more about this towards the end of the video. Someone is leaving town. So we're actually going to have a bit of a hiatus, I think.
You mean summer vacation?
Yes.
Summer vacation! Yes.
So we'll talk about it more at the end, but we're going to take a couple of weeks off, I think. And we'll be back when she gets back. Anyway, we'll talk about that at the end. All right, so let's jump right in. Oh, we got a Bim Bam Bum It.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
See who goes first.
This is the stupid.
I always say Bim Bam Bum, but it's Bim Bum Bam.
Somebody made that name wrong. Clearly.
You gotta shuffle. You can't just grab the cards.
Stacking the deck.
No, you have to cut it.
Good evening, peeps.
Yeah, what we do,
See
Nathan,
how-
we do the same thing. Nathan mentioned in chat he did his
Oh,
from
yes.
scratch. We
Yes.
don't look at our prior lists while making
Nope.
this list. What I actually did is I took every game while I was shuffling. I took every game that I rated a 7 or higher from last year,
Okay.
which was 40 games for me.
That's pretty good.
And I threw it in the Pub Meeple ranker and ranked them.
Okay, I wrote down all my lists. In fact, you can see this thing's chock full of titles. But I made a short list of about 14-ish games, and I'm like, this is going to be really hard. And so I ended up doing Pub Meeple for those 14 games.
Okay.
So I'm looking at this, and as usual with Pub Meeple, I'm 90% agree with it, but I feel like on a given day, some of these could wiggle
I
a little.
still think Pub Meeple creates paradoxes.
Yes. And poof.
And if you know what I mean by that, is it's my little triangle paradox theory that you compare game A with game B and you like game A better. Then you compare game B with game C and you like game B better. But then you compare game A with game C and you like C better.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So what do you do?
and then the world ends, a rift opens up, and we get sucked into an alternate dimension because that can't be true mathematically.
We're in the multiverse, you guys.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we got.
All because you decided to do Pub Meeple, and then I did too.
Why do you just take the card? Why do you actually...
Who wears curious hats? I think you win that one. I mean, I wear weird
So we'll
ones,
keep the
but
normal order. I will go first.
You take the cake on that one. That is your...
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to wear a
Yep.
curious hat this
14.
weekend, in fact.
You're wearing a curious hat right now. Not a curious hat.
This is just Dallas
Dallas
Arboretum.
Arboretum. I was like, there's
All right.
nothing very curious about
Let's
that.
do this. Let's jump right in.
Board games.
Find the buttons. Here we go.
Number 10.
All right, my number 10. Let's find out what it is.
What is it?
I'm going
Uh-oh.
to
Tell us the story.
what is it? Preempt? Is that the right word?
Yes.
Anyway, I'm going to discuss my number 10 before we start. So,
Oh, geez.
we made the decision.
We did.
Well, I made the decision, and she agreed with it, that the city games.
Stefan
Feld's city games.
Okay, yes.
That rethemed, reworked Macau, Bruges, and New York, Rialto. Macau, Bruges, and Rialto are eligible for our list. Because they not only reworked them, reproduced them, they changed rules, they streamlined some stuff and changed some things. So it's not a straight reprint, so they're eligible. Thusly, my number 10 is Amsterdam.
Ooh,
which is the reworking, retheming, redoing of Macau. So,
which is one that I always really liked. It's always been really high up on my list.
Yes,
anyway.
It's one of my top 3 or 4 Feld games, probably, if not higher than that. So Amsterdam does sneak in. This is the redoing of Macau. We liked all the city games. In fact, we got rid of all our. We got rid of Rialto, Bruges, and Macau when those games came in. And likely we're going to get rid of whatever the other 2. No, we decided not to get the rest of them, didn't we?
Yep.
Anyway, so Amsterdam is awesome. We've loved Macau, like she says, and it even streamlines it, makes it better. You feel like you can accomplish more. One of the things that kind of bugged me a little bit about Macau, it seemed like it was a constant struggle to do stuff. And like that traveling around the board.
It was hard.
Was hard to get the stuff to do that.
Yep.
This one, they kind of streamlined it a little bit and redid the map and redid how things move on the map to make it a little easier to accomplish more. So you feel like you're doing more and you're accomplishing more in the game. So I like Amsterdam more than Macau, obviously, because we got rid of Macau. It's one of the great Stefan Feld games with the little resource management where you're drafting dice and the choice of getting a die with a high number to give you lots of resources later on, or get a die with a low number, but you get those resources really quickly, which is a great mechanism. I wish more games did something similar. Gold West does something kind of like that, but I wish more games did that.
Right.
I guess Latum kind of does that with you choosing between actions. I said it right. You don't have to get smile. Choose between actions or resources. It's kind of got that same push-pull. Do I want lots of actions or I want lots of resources?
I was actually smiling because you mentioned Latum already. I was like...
Anyway, so that's my number 10, Amsterdam, the reworking, revisiting of Macau.
Yes. All right, my number 10 is a bit lighter, and it's Flamecraft.
Oh, holy cow, you did not change the text.
Oh, whoops. I forgot to change the font size. My bad. Flamecraft!
Oh, my goodness.
Flamecraft! Okay, so...
You can't even see me behind Flamecraft.
The reason I like Flamecraft so much is... Okay,
God,
first of all, I didn't do anything. That's the problem. So, ridiculous art, probably the best art of the year, in my opinion. Just absolutely precious, adorable. In fact, I'm using one of the little postcards with Flamecraft art for my bookmark currently. I'm just loving it, just so much. And on top of that is a really cute game. You've got these great little dragons, little helpful dragons, and there's several different types, but each type has a certain ability. And you can go and assign them to different shops, and they help out in the different shops. And then you're traveling around and you're utilizing the shops and building up a bunch of stuff. And I absolutely love this game. It's really cute. It's welcoming plus weight. So it'd be pretty easy to sink your teeth into. And if you're not already drawn by the art, really cute game. Light and fluffy, I know. And
no, I'm laughing because all 8 of your 10 are gonna be giant letters if you didn't fix them. So I had to fix every one of these.
You just told me to type them. I didn't think about.
You didn't even notice they were half the screen.
No, they weren't half the screen when I typed them in. That's the problem. When I clicked on them, they weren't doing that. That is really bizarre. What am I reading right now? Ooh, I am currently reading the Long Earth series by Terry Pratchett and Stephen Baxter. I'm in book 4 of 5, and I'm really loving it. So if you like sci-fi stuff, multiverse stuff, this is really good.
Okay.
So, you haven't even read it. Shush!
Number 9.
All right, number 9. Let's see what number 9. Let's push the button and see what happens. Let's push the button and see what happens. Number 9 is Weather Machine.
Oh, you like this
I do like Weather Machine, but I really expected this to be one of my games of the year, like tippy top of the list. So it's slight bit of a disappointment, but still really good game to make it in the top 10.
Right, for sure.
Like I said, we played close to 60 games from 2022. And like I said, 40 I really liked. 20 were kind of
Yeah, my
games and mixing in weird stuff.
Yeah, my first impressions short list was like 42 games. It's
so
crazy.
Weather Machine, this is the latest Vital Lacerda game, although he's already kickstarting another one here shortly for next year. I think it's called Inventions, I want to say. Anyway,
he's on an invention kick. I like it.
So Weather Machine, you're mad scientist, or like a better word.
The theme is hilarious.
So you got this crazy mad scientist who created a weather machine that like fixes the weather. So like we're gonna have the Super Bowl in Miami. We want nice sunny weather. So he pushes some buttons. Boom, sunny weather in Miami. But unfortunately, over in London, they have a hurricane. So
yeah, it's like, dude.
So he basically every time it's the butterfly effect. Every time he fixes one thing, another thing happens over here, over there, and you're kind of apprentice or flunky weather machine guy going behind him trying to fix all the problems and working with the government to fix it. And
I would argue that you're probably the one competent soul with a moral compass working for the company. That would be my guess. But anyway,
so yeah, save
that rant for another day.
It's a resource management, contract fulfillment, just lots of things. Super heavy game. One of those games that's super heavy in terms of it's like a really hard teach, but once you start playing, it's real simple because you just kind of go into like 3 or 4 different spots and just taking actions at those spots. So it's once you play a round or two of it, it kind of clicks, and it's got this Eagle Griffin, so it's got amazing components, great production, but just not probably fall in the middle of the pack for my Lacerda games, which is really good because I love Lacerda games. But
there has been an inquiry, which is currently your favorite Lacerda game?
It is currently Vinos. Yes. It was on Mars for a hot minute, but it's probably Vinos on Mars. I'm staring that way because that's where they are.
All the games are right behind the camera.
Vinos on Mars. Probably Escape Plan. Gallerist, Lisboa, Kanban, CO2.
Which is hilarious because CO2 is like probably in my top 3.
There you go. We own 8 of the big box Lacerdas, not the big box. We got rid of the Mercado one, the Mercado de Lisboa. We got rid of that one, but you have 8 big box ones. I think that's all his big box ones. I want to say,
right?
Maybe I don't know.
Or close
to it.
All right, so my number 9. I'm just okay. I suspect we may hear about this one later, and that is Merchants of the Dark Road. See, that one's fine.
It is fine.
See, I don't know what happened with that. Maybe I bumped something out upon exiting. But anyway, so this game is got it's like a little side polyomino element to it because you have your merchant wagon. As Hunter likes to describe this is like if you were playing D&D but from the merchant's perspective, and you're going around and you're collecting all your goods and stuff, and meanwhile there's people that want to hitchhike a ride on your wagon, and you're trying to fit all your goods and jam them into the cart so that when you travel and go to sell them, you make the maximum bucks. And when you go to do that, then of course you're like, hey, I'm going down the dark road. Anybody coming along? Or you may say you're taking a shortcut, which you can only do that. I think the shortcut's the one you can only do by yourself, correct? Yes. So you get to do a bunch of sneaky cool stuff on your own. It's interesting because some of the things people can follow, other things are exclusively yours. I like the neat mix between the two. It's fun because there's a lot of unique characters, and all the customers want different things, and you can also trick up and make some of them a little flashier and shinier, and they're worth a little bit more and stuff. There's all these neat little perks to the game. I really like all the nice little touches like that. Very fun game.
It's okay.
Huh, that's a lie. We'll be hearing about that.
Okay.
We'll be hearing about it again.
Number 8.
Number 8. What's my number 8?
I don't know.
Let's find
out. Do tell.
Well, let's tell by pushing this button.
Maybe.
Mosaic.
Ooh.
A Story of Civilization. Which is apparently that's the subtitle of every Civ game.
Oh my gosh, yes. Tell us the story of the civilization.
So Mosaic.
Imperial settlers or no, not Imperial settlers.
No, it's Through the Ages.
Through the Ages, a story of new civilization.
A new story of civilization.
Oh dang! Well, there you go. This is apparently an older story.
So Mosaic is a Civ game. It's kind of got the it's all about the tech. So it's kind of in a way it reminds me a little bit of Tapestry, but I like this much more than Tapestry. It focuses in on the tech, but there is area control on the board, but it's kind of a little abstracted. Troops are like just numbers of things there. So you build cities and monuments and things there. It adds to your total control of that area.
Yes. Yes.
The fighting is very, very much abstract in terms of I play a card and I kill 2 of your troops. There's not really we roll dice and we fight each other kind of combat.
Yep.
So it's more Euro with a slight bit of area control thrown in. It's got a nice flow. I love what is it? Drover. What's his name? Drawing a blank. Jim? No. Drover. Ben? I don't know. Anyway, his games. I love how he designs his games because the board is actually your kind of round order, right? So basically, you go through the flow of the board, and it goes through all the actions and things going on in the round.
Love
just
that.
like
love that.
Through the Age of Empires is that way. Empire's Age of Discovery is the same way.
Yep.
The board is your turn order of you basically go through. We do this action, then we do this action, then we do this action. It kind of just goes through the board, kind of like Pillars of the Earth.
Glenn
Drover. Yeah, Pillars of the Earth. Pillars of the Earth is that way as well.
Yeah, Pillars of the Earth is another one that I still talk about that board because it's
very
so good.
The
like
board
that.
is very
utilitarian.
That word, yeah. That
yes,
word.
it's so good.
So good. I love this game. It's fun. It's easy to teach. It's got a lot going on. You really feel like you grow throughout the game. At first you're not doing a lot of things, and as you get more and more of those texts, it makes your actions more powerful.
That's
so
good.
Towards the end, you're doing tons of different stuff. I like the area control. I like the different choices between the different kinds of buildings you can make. I guess they're different markets you can make. It's a really solid Civ game. If you're looking for a Civ game with lots of Euro, that's not as heavy as Through the Ages, but gives you kind of almost the same kind of feel.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's really good. And like I said, this one. Surprisingly, it's easy to teach because you just work your way through the board. I love.
Yeah, that's
okay. This is one thing you do. This is this action you do. You can do this action. This is how it works. You do this action. This is how it works.
And you have those reminders right there.
And all the stuff's on. You literally pick up the stuff that's in that area and say, okay, this is what the cards that you can take, and you explain that, and you just work your way. You can use the board as a tool to teach the game, which is really good.
Super win.
All right.
Super win.
Right.
My turn. Number 8. Nice little 2-player only game.
Oh, you like this game much more than I do.
Beer and Bread. Yes. It had been a while since we had a good new go-to little 2-player game.
Right.
And
we kind of got away from those.
We did because we played them to death.
Yeah.
They're great little box size, right? Like a tiny little box, usually pretty portable. A lot of those games you can just scoop up into a little Ziploc or something. Target size box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Patchwork size. So when this came out and Hunter was talking about it, I was like, ooh, this is going to be, I think this was my Valentine's Day purchase.
I think it was too, yeah. Yep.
Because after describing it, I was like, oh, this is going to be a win. And it was. It's another one of those 2-player and you're raising your crops and your animals and mixing everything up and points salady this and that and competing with the other person in a pretty tight setup. I love it. It was a lot of fun. I think it's a really good gameplay, and it's just a nice little refresh from some of the other games like that. But it's built and balanced nicely for 2 players.
Right.
So, and I don't remember the playtime on it's not super long either.
I want to say 45 minutes.
Yeah,
maybe 60 minutes at the most.
At the max, yeah. It's shorter, sweeter, to the point, but still kind of hits. It checks all the boxes that you want. You're like, hey, I just want to play a little Euro kind of game on that, and it's really fun. I want to play it again soon.
Yep.
Like that's one of those. Again, it's gonna be one of those that I'm like, hey, we could play this right now. Go-to game.
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. We haven't played we had a good little 2-player game that we played in like forever.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last one we bought and played.
Yeah,
that's new to us.
I know. I'm trying to look over there, and none of them are super new.
Yeah.
Like pre-COVID.
That's a good call. All right, let's move on. Gotta change my buttons. There we go.
Number 7.
All right.
Nathan, that's right. You did help him find that game, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
All right, number 7. Let's see what it is. It'll be exciting. Wayfarers of the South Tigris. So this is this one kind of landed lower than I thought. That just tells you how solid the games are above it.
That's true, because you love this.
This one is one of my faves of the series. We originally had the Raiders series, the North Sea series, then you got the West Kingdom. Now you got the South Tigris. This is one of my favorites. It's probably 2 or 3 out of all those games, probably, maybe. But even so, it's this low because this last year there's so many amazing games, and this is a good one. So if you like any of those games, the Architects, Paladins, all those games,
You're gonna like this one.
like this one as well.
For sure.
It's got kind of card management kind of thing, tableau building, all sorts of fun stuff going on. It has a track where you're getting like power-ups that you're going across. It has a variable end game. Basically, you have to go through this entire track to trigger the end of the game. So there's almost kind of a game of chicken, how quickly you move across that track, because you definitely don't want to end it when you're losing. So you kind of got to judge when's a good time to work your turns to trigger the game.
Yep.
The tableau building's good. The way the cards work is good. It's got skills that you power up. Like in most of their games, you get better and better at the different actions that you're doing. It's just a really solid game. All these games are just it is amazing they keep hitting these games. They haven't had a bad one in a long time.
They're still going strong with it. Really,
and the
truly,
Scholars that's about to come out.
That's probably going to be my favorite.
Maybe one of her favorites.
I'm already looking at it going, this may be my favorite.
So the next one,
it's not even out yet. It's crazy.
It has about translating texts and things like that. So
nerd-tastic.
So yeah, so this is a good one. It just kind of. It reminds me. It's when the really good movie comes out and there's like 2 or 3 other good movies that come out that same weekend.
Yes,
and you're like it kind of gets buried by the big name. This one kind of got buried by some better games that are higher up on the list. Yeah. For me anyway. This may be some people's favorite of the year, but for me it got pushed down because there's just so many great games. That's it. Wayfarers of the South. Tiger is my number 7.
I'm shocked this is that low.
I am too. I'm
shocked.
I did not think it would fall that far.
My number 7, I've already seen somebody mention in the chat, which makes me happy, and that is Meeples and Monsters.
You love it so much more than me. It's funny.
I do.
You're so good at this game. You destroy me at this game for some reason.
That is true. I have beaten you both times.
Handily beat me both times.
It's I don't know what it is. It's just so funny. It's just like your little role-playing characters. You got your little party, and you're building everybody up, and you go and visit the different shops, and it's like Skullport. What's the? Oh my gosh, Waterdeep. Good grief! I'm so terrible with names. Lords of Waterdeep. I know.
Skullport.
Skullport. Scoundrels of Skullport. I'm like the expansion name came first.
That's how our box says on it, though.
But Lords of Waterdeep, you can buy new shops and put them down, and then other people go there and you get like a little benefit for going to it and stuff like that. This has that little element where you can build some shops that might be really handy to have. But again, you have a limited area where you can put them, so you kind of want to choose wisely what shops you want to put in there. I don't know why. I just find it really fun.
I think you really like upgrading the classes.
I do.
You end up with like 17 cards under
you
guys.
Do.
My character does this and this and 3 of those and 2 of these and some of these, and I'm like, I just lost. So funny. You're really good at upgrading your different classes. Really good at
man.
I need to.
Ooh, 4 hours to get through a 4-player game. Ooh, Gardner, yikes! I'm sorry, that sucks.
That's rough.
Aw. Man.
Anything else? Because you love this game.
Anything else?
I think.
I want to play this game some more.
You beat this game out of me. That's why it fell down the list.
Is that what it is? Nah. Oh my gosh! Whatever.
I don't rate games.
No, I know. I was just.
All right, let's move on. Number 6. Let's see what it is. So what's better than Wayfarers? Well, it just happens to be
apparently like a whole bunch of
Carnegie.
That came out this year too? I don't even think that made it to my
Carnegie is my number 6. Yes,
I did not even have that on my list. Although it would have not made the top 10.
It showed up on Board Game Arena, I think, in 2021, but it didn't officially come out until last year. So Carnegie is one of the big heavy Euro games from last year. I really this one.
This is a great game.
I love this game. I love how it works. It's got so many. So I'm not a big fan of puzzle games, like the unlock games and escape games and puzzle games. But this one has. I love games that have like a logistical style puzzle in it. Right. And this one, your player mat, where you have the different departments in your headquarters, you have to move your meeples around to have them work. If there's no meeples in a department, they don't work. But there's movement rules on how far the meeples can move, how many can move, and stuff like that. It's like, it needs to do some marketing.
Well, because your player board has that little engine thingy too, where you can tweak it and make them move around more. But the next turn, you're like, but I need to work on this. So then they're like, I can't go to that next
Right.
office yet. You're like, it's
just
crazy
the whole,
deciding
how do I need
when
marketing.
you go.
All my guys are over here doing something else. I need them to do that thing. What do I do?
Water cooler break.
And you send guys off to do good deeds, for lack of better words. They do philanthropy work or whatever.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, philanthropy work. And
they're stuck in that spot until someone triggers that area. So at the start of each round, you pick which region's going to activate, which is a kind of a push and pull. Like, how long is that going to activate before he comes back? I really want to send workers out there.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 or 4 rounds where I get them back. And there's that whole thing. And then there's one of the things I like in games. A lot of games do this where you opt into achievements. Like, I'm going to opt into this in-game scoring thing. So you have all these different in-game scorings you can opt into. I have mixed
feelings about those opt-in.
I
know you do. Mostly because I forget about them.
I love the little opt-in to scoring things. And then there's kind of almost for lack of a word, a ticket to ride, or maybe power grid style, building out your little companies across the board, and you have to connect areas and stuff. And you upgrade your transportation systems in all the different areas. And there's a lot going on. It is a heavy Euro game. It's fun. I didn't even mention the whole slide thing of upgrading different abilities and stuff. Oh,
that's fun too.
So much going on in this game. It's a hard game to teach. There's got a lot happening, but it's a blast. I enjoy it.
No, that is. That's a solid game. That would definitely be in my. Oh, it'd be in my top 20 easily.
Top 20,
dude. I cannot even express this solid list I have.
Express your number 6.
My number 6 is probably not going to surprise anybody too much because it's Creature Comforts. Once again, another game with really ridiculously adorable art. It's welcoming plus, maybe welcoming plus.
It's wingspan level. Whatever you call wingspan, it's about the same level.
That's true. I mean, basically, once you teach people to read cards and read special abilities, that's where you're like, okay, here's how we go. The premise for this is ridiculously cute. You're trying to have the cutest, coziest place to hibernate for the winter. So, of course, you got to get all these cool, little resources and things. And like that, some of them give you extra victory points. Like if you pair up soup and bread, that's like a super combo. Or if you put...
A super combo?
And then, just stuff like that, or ice skates in a sweater, or like just really cute little things like that. And it's got ridiculous art. And then there's always somebody that visits every round this character, another little animal that has some special abilities that kind of break the normal rules for the stuff during the round. And you can go around getting all these resources and buying up these cards, or you can go and tweak what you're doing with the special character each round. And it's neat too, because the dice in this are probably one of the things that I like best, because you've got communal dice and you've got your own personal dice. So everybody's got to suffer the communal dice, come what may, whatever you get in there. But you also have yours, and you do kind of push your luck, almost like bid. I think I'm going to roll this, so I'm going to go here, here, and here this turn, and then you just kind of hope
right.
that it works out the way it does. But what's cute about this, and one of the reasons I think this is a good welcoming plus kind of game too, is that even if you totally just bust on that, like a move or two, and nothing comes of it, it's like called lessons learned or something really cute.
You get to mitigate dice later on.
You get stuff that lets you tweak your dice so that you don't have that problem the next round at all. And it's fantastic. It's so cute. It's a ridiculous game. I've played it so many times. Nessa loves this one too. She likes Flamecraft too, but I think she likes the gameplay of this one better just because I know she's played it
Game
more.
and Wife, who's in the chat.
Hello.
She said, we got the Fallout game. Yes, we're getting Maple Valley.
I was going to say Maple Valley, I hope was an insta-buy.
It was
an
insta-buy. As much as you love Creature Comforts, we had to get Maple Valley.
Yeah. All right, can't wait.
Let's move on.
Number 5.
Let's see what number 5 is. Number 5 is Terracotta Army.
Ooh, Terracotta
Army. It's vying for my favorite board and dice tea game.
I'm not surprised. You love this game.
My favorite one. That's why it's so high up on the list. I got to play this. Technically, I played this before it was released, and I played it in 2021, but it technically came out in 2022 because Tom had a copy at the retreat, the last retreat we went to in 21. He had early copy of it.
You got to play that.
We played that. Oh, I loved it. And as soon as I was able to buy it, I didn't think I could buy it until like Gen Con the next year. It took that long.
It was something
to come
crazy,
out. It
yeah.
was forever before it came out. But yeah, I love Terracotta Army. It's a heavy board dice game, T game. You're collecting resources, mostly clay. You're building the statues, and then there's a whole puzzle, like I mentioned previously. I don't remember what game it was. The one before Carnegie, where you have the puzzle. Same sort of thing. You're building all these statues that's in this tomb, and there's points on how they group and in a relation with each other. And there's a little guide walking around judging the room, and he judges certain rows and columns, whether he likes it or not, and area control and majority and superpowers, and you can opt into special abilities, and has an interesting action selection that's actually 2 wheels that kind of rotate around, and you get a column of actions based on where those wheels land, and there's ways to manipulate that and move those around to get what you want. It has a grande worker, for lack of a better word, like viticulture, where you can go somewhere if you upgrade it, you can upgrade your worker to a grande worker. I forget what it's called, but anyway, grande worker. And he can go to a spot that someone's already gone to, which is kind of breaks the rules, which is really powerful. So you have all these different upgrades and abilities you can get. It's just a really solid game. The biggest setback, like what the word, the one that slows you down is the teaching of how that area control works.
Right.
So, I can teach the rest of the game like really quick, but then it's like I have to explain scoring because there's a whole scoring. There's intermediate scorings, and then there are in-game scorings and all this stuff. And if you have the most, you get this kind of points. But if you're not second place, you still get this points, and you want the groups to be big. And it's all this different scoring things around that whole thing, because everything drives that board where you're putting the statues.
Right.
So it's my number 5.
That's a good
Terracotta Army.
Good game. Tommy, I think, was asking, is it available anywhere right now?
Terracotta Army?
Yes.
I don't know. It may be out of print right now, but it'll be reprinted, I'm sure.
Because it's so popular.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be reprinted.
After this, we should do our top 10 still need to play 2022 games. Boy, is that the truth.
I don't know if we have that many.
I don't know. I think even if we did a combined list, I feel like we almost should do those every year too, because you're right. There's always those like, we missed. We still haven't played, blah, blah, blah.
Back in the day, we used to preempt these lists with, here's the really popular games we haven't
played yet. That's true.
But I don't know. We just kind of got away from doing that. Frosthaven. We haven't played Frosthaven. That's the big one from last year.
Was that really just last year?
Yeah, I think Frosthaven was last year. Am I crazy?
Good grief.
I think it was last year.
Wow.
All right, what's your number 5?
Lasted so long. So my number 5 was already mentioned by the Nathan in the chat, and that was Foundations of Rome. Good choice, sir. Good choice. Oh man, this is one of the games that I said could possibly fluctuate off and on. This is the most intimidating yet most accessible, insanely overproduced game on the planet.
Pretty close.
It is a ginormous box of death with the most beautiful miniature buildings.
I think this is only defeated by that giant Cthulhu statue.
I know, right? That one is that tops it as being ridiculous, right? It is gorgeous, and of course, yeah, I know I'm a sucker for ancient Roman stuff anyway. So of course, that theme already, I was like, this could be really cool. But what I love is you got these big clunky buildings, and they're all cool and classical and gorgeous looking. And then you've got a cool game like what's the name of that game that you Acquire? It kind of reminds me of Acquire. It's got an Acquire vibe, but it's so easy to teach to people. I don't know. I feel like it's easier to teach than Acquire. I can
teach this game in 5 minutes.
Yeah. And it's fun because not only is it about what buildings you place, but it's about the buildings that you place and everybody else places, because there's a lot of them that sure, you get victory points for this, but you get victory points per what other buildings are touching this, and it could be yours, it could be anybody else's. So if you see that there's a whole bunch of population buildings going over in a corner, you might want to just slap your building down in the middle of that and reap the benefits. I mean, it's that simple, and it's nice because I felt like, too, no matter how many players we had, this wasn't a game that like dragged. Now I'm sure
turns are like 10 seconds each.
Yeah, they're pretty quick. And now if you got somebody that's got to think it through and it's the first time through, sure, it'll go a little slower. The only thing I could ever see is if somebody just crazy AP this game.
But how you could. There's only a limited number of cards you can buy.
Right? So I don't know. I don't know. It'd be really hard to really drag this game out. And I love the fact that you can play with, 2 players and have a blast. You can play it with the full player count and still have a really good time. And really work up a cool, little engine of points with it. It's super fun. I love it. Foundations of Rome.
It's a good one.
Probably not for the faint of heart, or should I say faint of pocketbook.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Find somebody that has it, because it seems like everybody else has it these days.
Go to a convention.
And go to a convention. Play it.
All right, let's move on.
Number 4.
All right, number 4 is a new one to the list. Most of my list is the same. You're kind of figuring that out. This is a new one, and it landed at number 4. You should know it's pretty good. Any guesses?
Oh man, I haven't been paying attention to
A favorite game of the convention that we just came back from?
Challengers.
No. It is Revive.
Yeah, Revive. I am not surprised to see this.
This game is awesome. Right. I am on high alert to get a copy of this game.
Right.
It was so good. To tell you how good it was.
How good was it?
I got annihilated.
That's true, and you didn't care
and
one bit.
The whole time I was like, this. Usually I joke, like every time something goes wrong with me, I'm like, oh, I hate this game. Oh, I hate this game.
You weren't even doing that.
I did not say. I don't think I said that once. The whole time I was like, I love this game. I love this game. This is so cool.
It was so funny. He's saying this after a turn where like somebody just trounces down a whole bunch of victory points, and he's like, I love this game, and we're just like, dude, you're losing.
Yeah,
I don't even care.
This game is so good. It is so good.
It is funny.
It is the midweight, maybe mid to heavyweight Euro of the year for me. It is really good. This one I love the multi-use cards. I love all the tracks you're going up. I love the area control. I love the whole fight, that area control fighting over. It's like a really good spot comes up and you want to build a building. You're like, don't build there, don't build there, don't build there. And then Rebecca builds there. You're like, ah! And all superpowers and upgrading cards, upgrading your abilities. It's just every time I do something, I'm like, oh, I did something real cool. And then she does something cool, and he does something cool, and I go back, I can do
There's
something
a lot of cool stuff, yeah.
Everything, it's just every turn feels like you're accomplishing so much. It's pretty
darn good.
Revive is good. It really should be higher up my list, but there is 3 beasts above it that knocked it down to 4. But
beast.
But yeah, it is so good. It is. I was ready to play it again. I wanted to play it again when we were done, but we moved on to other games, or we went to bed. I can't remember which we did. But yeah, it was just so good. So it's worth the hype. I mean, I've heard all the hype. All the Euro gamers were saying it's really good, and they weren't wrong. It is good. It's got a little bit of area control going on. So if you want the straight head down, do your own thing, Euro, this is not really the game for you. But Revive is the hype is real. The hype is real.
Right. Alrighty, my number 4 has been mentioned already. Apparently, I like it better than him, which is actually no, it's not that surprising now that I think about it. That's Wayfarers of the South Tigris.
You enjoyed this a lot more than I did.
This is my favorite of all of those.
Better than
Yep.
What is it? The one you like? Where you ride the horsey around?
Not anymore.
That
one's trash.
Really?
Yes, I like this one a lot. I like the whole track thing. I like all the different just the choices, the options, the balance of when do I pull the trigger and try to finish go to the finish line. It's a weird game because you could just hold off for a long time and not end the game. Like the length of play really can swing wildly, which you might want to watch with, if you're trying to get somewhere or do something that day, I suppose. But I think it's a lot of fun to, I don't know. I felt like last time I kind of was like, let's go. Try to race, just get it over with. See if I can just beat him before he gets the engine going, which is usually a bad move for me if I let you play for a while. Because what happens is, this is the typical game, okay? Typical Euro-esque game. I come out swinging for the fences. I have like this crazy strong start. The first half of the game, if you were to call it right then, you're like, oh, she's going to win the game. And then out of nowhere, the engine that somebody's been slowly building, all of a sudden just explodes and then like laps me. Just inevitably, like every game. That's like the common formula. So.
Well, yeah, you're kind of.
I do this. I'm like,
your little chart's your cart's kind of like this.
Yes.
And mine's more like this.
Yes, that's exactly. So what I like to do is try to finish the game before his little engine kicks in, you know. And this game gives you that opportunity to maybe
where
pull that
where
off.
the two lines cross, we tie.
That's right. Which is odd because we are fairly evenly matched in games, which is really hilarious.
But
yeah,
pretty much, I mean, if you have a good game design, there's ways to crank up points early on and then kind of coast at the end. And there's ways to build
obviously
a slow engine, kind of builds, and then it really gets crazy at the end.
Or there's also the super heavy games, like the ones that are up there just out of camera range, where I start to figure out what the heck's going on with them. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can build an engine. And by the time I have that going, Hunter's like, what are you talking about? I'm over here with, my rocket to the moon. And I'm like, I'm banging two sticks together now. Yeah, it's hilarious. So, we run the whole range. But I like,
off on a tangent.
I can't help it, but we already talked about Wayfarers. So I had to, bring in my crazy Euro take on this, but love this game. It's my fave so far. I'm crazy excited about the Scholars one.
They say that Kickstarter's this month, so
we'll
be back in it.
Yes,
all in, push all in button, all in for number 3. Number three. So I mentioned 3 heavy hitters. What's the first of the heavy hitters?
Teletum.
It actually dropped a place.
What?
From last time.
What?
It dropped down to number 3. That is Endless Winter.
What? Oh no.
Endless Winter.
What made it drop?
I don't know.
We played it and you loved it even more than when we played it.
Endless Winter. So this is
what is happening? Sniper Elite. Snipe. Something sniped this game.
Another heavy Euro game. This is got a little bit of deck building going on, a lot of worker placement. It's got area control. It's just so good. This game is so good. The production is off the charts. The art is off the charts. That's probably why I do love the Wayfarers art, but the production, it's mostly a card dice game. So Endless Winter has cool miniatures, the Kickstarter version has all these upgraded bits and fun stuff. I love games that have. I love games that have like area control and stuff going on the board with a little bit of deck building on the side. So like Dune Imperium and games like that have the deck building that drives the game, but there's a lot more going on with the game. And this one has worker placement, area control, great bits. Oh, so good, so good. This game is so good. I don't know what the retail version of this game looks like, but the Kickstarter version is off the charts. We finally played we threw everything in. We did the kitchen sink. We played with every expansion.
That was good.
I'm pretty sure we liked everything but one thing. I can't remember what it was. We talked about it back in the back time. There was something we didn't like that we played. I can't remember what it was.
Well, that's why we make notes.
Yeah, we do that now.
Memory of a goldfish.
We put a note in the top that says, play with these expansions, don't play with these. Play with these variants, don't play with these variants. And we put that in the top.
Or if there's a dumb rule that we always forget, we'll write that rule and be like, don't forget to refresh blah, blah, blah,
right.
turn blah, or whatever.
Some of our games, not most, some of our games have that. You open it up and there's
a
peach of, like a back of the napkin note.
It really are. It's like I tore a page out of this or something.
Because you don't revisit the game for a little while, you're like, oh, did we like that expansion? What variant? We played with a weird variant. What did we play with?
Yeah, I hate that.
And you have no idea, and you have to try again, and you're like, oh yeah, we didn't play with this.
And there was a reason. Yeah.
So that's my number 3.
Blah, blah, blah game. What, Coraloo? What do you... I think it's block. No, I'm just kidding.
Those Canadians are out of control.
I tell you.
All right, what's your number, whatever number we're on, 3?
My number 3 is Teletum. My favorite.
Teletum?
My favorite tea game.
I don't know why you like this one so much. This is middle of the pack for me.
I know, Carl. He's not listening to me. Blah, 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 blah. So, anywho. Yes. Teletum, you were talking about it earlier about choice between like actions and resources and different things and stuff and the balance. And once again, with the tea games, you've got these crazy heavy games that I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's so much going on, but once you figure out how to get your little engine to click and what you're doing, and it just sings. And this one, for whatever reason, it clicked with me quicker than some of the others, and I just liked the way the game. It made more sense to me, like how the game goes. I liked the interaction between what you're doing with your player mat and what you're actually doing on, with everything else. Sometimes, which one was it? One of them felt a little disconnected to me. We played. Oh, was it Tawantinsuyu we played recently?
Right.
That one I didn't feel.
That one may be on its way out.
Yeah, it didn't feel.
We'll talk about it Tuesday.
As in sync as some of the other stuff, and like this one, just man. Yeah, the potatoes, right? You gotta love the potatoes, Coraloo. It's just, what's wrong with potatoes? Nothing. They're fantastic.
No,
just saying.
Not horrible.
How dare you, sir?
This one was middle of the road for me.
What?
It was middle of the road in terms of the ticket. It's middle of the pack.
I am shocked and appalled, sir. Shocked.
I like Terracotta Army better.
Terracotta Army's really good.
I like Takenu better.
Takenu's good.
I like Teotihuacan better.
Meh.
I like, what else we got?
Potatoes, that's right.
I like
Boil them, mash
Tamanushi
them, stick them in
better.
a stew.
I like Terracotta Army better.
You like all of them better than Talatum?
Yes. Talatum's right down there. He's hanging out with Taiwan Tensu for me. Just saying. Just saying!
Wow, I need to find somebody to play Talatum
I need
with.
to move on.
So,
I played it. It's still a good game. It's okay.
I hate it. It's okay. Meh.
Number 2.
What are you doing?
Just nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing.
My number 2 was previously my number 3. It kicked Endless Winter down a level because you know how much I love this game.
Merchants of the Dark Road.
Merchants of the Dark Road!
Mr. Shortcut right over here.
Oh, this game is... Oh, I want a movie about this game.
You should make one.
I want a D&D movie from the perspective of the merchant.
We should do it. We should make one.
So the theme alone, and most people consider this like a lifeless Euro with you're on a rondelle, you do stuff, blah blah blah. The theme for this one just comes
hilarious.
out for me because I just picture myself this cranky old merchant in his little wagon riding around and all these adventures like, gotta sell my swords. There's no one's buying my swords this year. Because there's contracts you have filled.
Not a year for swords.
Oh, it's just I love this game. It's so good. It's so good. I just like how it works. The rondelle action selection, the getting the resources, the choices of do I go to the shortcut and upgrade my stuff first, or do I just take them out to the different areas to sell them? People can follow along. You can tag along with people that are going to spots. So you kind of you're really interested in what other players are doing. It's like, oh, she's buying a bunch of crap to go to Joe Bob City. I better pick up some stuff to go to Joe Bob City. So
you actually do want to pay attention.
So when she goes,
what
then I
other
can
people
tag
do.
along and get like a free celly sell to Joe Bob Land. And you got adventurers that are coming with you. You're delivering them. They're basically hopping a ride on your wagon to the town. And just this game. This game is so fun. Just the saying, I know a shortcut. I love it. I love it.
That's
I
funny.
love it. This game's so good. I'm probably the biggest fan of this game. Forbidden Games, is that who makes this? They should put
Use you as
give
the
me
poster child.
Give me a commission or something because this game so good. So good.
It's good times.
What's your number 2? It's not good as Merchant's Dark Road.
Yeah, it is. But you don't think so.
What is it?
Endless Winter.
Endless Winter.
So I believe you told me this was the same as my original list, right?
Yes.
You said this
Yes,
was...
we both had Endless Winter number 2 last time.
Right. So, yes, he does need the t-shirt. You need a Merchants of the Dark Road t-shirt.
I do
There you
need a
go.
Merchant of the Dark Road t-shirt.
Anyways, Endless Winter, sir.
It's passe.
I can't believe you.
It's all the way down at my number 3. I hate it.
I think what kept this at number 2 was us throwing in all of the expansions.
Yeah, it was cool using everything. It was really
The
cool.
base game is really fun, but throwing in all this extra stuff.
You had almost a roll and write drawing on a dry erase board,
Yes.
building this
Well,
art.
and then
on
there
the
were like
wall.
those wolves that I didn't even end up getting a good chance to try.
Right.
There's these wolves that you can get that have like superpower boosty kind of things,
Right.
and The whole
The whole nother worker placement spot you can go to that adds to the game.
There was so much stuff, and it was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
It really gave you lots of different options to do things.
I felt like you almost got double the game all of a sudden.
It was
just
really good.
I don't know how I'm feeling about that. This may be a rant for another time, but should you leave aside all that stuff for the expansions? I mean, it just feels like
I think they intentionally designed a game and they go, okay, what can we take out to offer as an expansion? I don't think it's. A lot of people think it may be the other way around. They build the game.
Yeah.
And I really think they build this big game that's like it's like too big. And they're like, okay, they think, okay, what can we pull out?
Maybe let's
pull out the art stuff.
Okay, you're right.
And make that an expansion. Let's pull out the wolves because that's not really needed. That's an expansion. They build this big giant game and then they pare it down.
That's true.
To a smaller size.
I guess in the case of Endless Winter, that makes more sense because it is making it more accessible. Because boy, I'll tell you what, it's almost like ADHD kind of dream with all the stuff going on when you play everything. There's a lot going on.
The base game's a big cheat just by itself. And then there's how you play the base game. Okay, this is how the art works. This is how this new worker placement spot works. Right. This is how the wolves work. This is how this other thing. This is how the elephant. You have an elephant that's tromping around the board, stomping on things. That's an expansion. We played with everything, so it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, very anticlimactic. Both our favorites.
Number 1
is Dead Reckoning. It doesn't change. Dead Reckoning.
I love how you switched between the colors like some kind of
Reckoning.
Okay, I can't lie, guys. This is by far my favorite game of the year. Like,
yeah, it's not even close.
Like I had this list and I went and wrote Dead Reckoning before I even finished writing my 1098 thing on my list because I was like, I know that's my number 1.
Well, I think it was in my top 10 all time, which is crazy.
Yeah, especially coming out of the gate like that. Yeah. This is our Merchants and Marauders killer, which is huge. I cannot even express because we had like our 3 sandbox games ever. Merchants and Marauders was a very strong, here's our pirate game.
Right.
And this now is our pirate game.
Yeah,
and it
took Merchant Marauders off the shelf and into the sell pile.
Which is crazy. I thought we'd never, ever do that.
Yep.
In fact, it still in some ways just feels really just wrong. It's like, really? But no, we're not going to go revisit that game. We're not.
There's no way I would pick Merchants and Marauders over Dead Reckoning. There's no way. This was more fun. You accomplish more. The game's quicker. It's fun. I mean, it's just literally... There are times when Merchant Marauders is a slog. It's like, I've played that game 4 players, and I've seen half-hour turns. One person's turn.
Oh, yeah, we've done that.
One person's turn takes an entire half hour. They end up doing this one thing. They end up with this big, massive fight. And then they go to port and have to buy and do all stuff.
And you don't want to ignore what people do in port.
Yeah, because you're like, okay,
you can't just skip them.
Yeah, because if Rebecca goes to port and loads up on guns, I want to know that because I don't want to be anywhere near her. Because like, okay, you can do your port and we'll move on. And then I'm like, oh crap. I'm right next to where she is, and she just bought 20 guns and a bunch of crew.
Yeah.
I'm dead. So you got to know what they're going to do, so you have to sit there and wait. Okay, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go get a rumor. I'm going to go upgrade my things. I'm going to do this and this. I love the game, but it's long. Merchant Marauders I'm talking about. It's long, and there's just dead time.
But Dead Reckoning,
the turns are so fast.
The turns are fast. You're engaged. And there's there's like, you don't have that turnaround time at all. Like, I'm not going to sit there and work on my crochet in the between turns.
Right. It's got the Mystic Veil, card crafting, which we love. You love that. You love
card crafting is the bomb, and they do it right in this, and you can level up your dudes every turn.
And the combat is fun. I love
combat's hilarious. I actually like the combat in this.
The tower combat is awesome.
I will pick a fight with him. I pick fights with him in this game, which I don't typically do in games like that. Even Merchants and Marauders, I would hesitate. But the combat's hilarious. You use the freaking cube tower for the combat.
It's
I mean,
awesome.
it's just
Yeah,
it's a
I don't know.
free for all.
I did. Like I may have made it sound weird. I meant Merchant
No,
Marauders.
he was ranting about
Merchant Marauders.
It's
Takes
so slow.
twice as long at least,
Yeah.
and the turns are much longer, and there's just dead time.
Yeah.
There's literally just dead time.
It's
Imagine
so-
you imagine you're playing a 4-player game, and even if you say 15 minutes.
All right.
It's been 45 minutes
Before
since
you
I've
played.
had a turn.
Yeah.
That's just nuts. And I used to play it. I love the game. It's
Yeah, we
awesome.
used to play
but
it.
it's a 6 to 8 hour 4-player game.
Which that's Twilight. You're starting
Yeah.
to get into that Twilight
Yeah.
Imperium scale when you think
Yeah.
about that, and that's crazy because it's not that heavy.
But you could probably
But-
play it quicker. I mean, because it's a race to a certain number of points.
Right.
But if you're attacking each other in each other's face and not letting
Yeah.
people run away with the game, it's going to take a long time.
Mhm.
Because you get blown up and you're kind of, you bank money, but you're going to start over with your ship is all beat up and.
Right. It's just.
But I love the game. But Dead Reckoning, so good,
Oh,
so
man.
good.
You guys,
So
if you haven't had a
good.
chance to play it and you like any of those mechanisms that we were throwing out there, you need to give it a shot because
Story mode's fun
it's-
too.
Yes.
The sagas are fun.
Yes, we've had a lot of fun with those too.
All right, so let's revisit. We're gonna revisit our original list.
Oh yeah, I tell.
I'll do mine
And
first.
I've got some honorable mentions, and I see stuff in the chat too. You guys are like, whew,
All right,
many
so
good- so many good
I have
guys.
where mine was ranked. Rebecca only went through like 14 games, so we don't. Most of hers I know where they were before, but
okay.
so my number 10 was Hippocrates.
Oh yeah,
It's-
oh my gosh.
It's 17 now, so it dropped down to 17.
How did I miss a
My
See, I
number
missed that one
9
too.
is Foundations of Rome. It's down at 14 now. My number 8 is Weather Machine. It's 9. You saw it was 9.
Yep.
My number 7 last time was Mosaic. It's 8 now.
Wow.
My number 6 last time was Carnegie. It's still 6.
Yeah.
My number 5 was Wayfarers. It's 7 now. My number 4 was Merchants of the Dark Road. It jumped up to 2. My number 3 last time was Terracotta Army. It's down to 5 now. My number 2 was Endless Winter last time. It's 3. And my number 1, Dead Reckoning, still number 1.
Nice.
Rebecca's number 10 was Planet Unknown.
Yep.
Her number, I don't know where it was this time. Her number 9 is
Off.
Meeples and Monsters. It jumped up to 7. Her number 8 last time was Foundations of Rome. It jumped up to 5.
Yep.
Her number 7 last time was Mosaic. It dropped off the list.
Yep.
Her number 6
Close
last time was
contenders.
Flamecraft. It dropped to 10. Her number 5 last time was Merchants of the Dark Road. It dropped all the way down to 9. Her number
Sorry, it was replaced by really solid games.
Her number 4 last time was Wayfarers of the South Tigris. It stayed number 4. Her number 3 last time was Creature Comforts. It dropped down to 6. And her 2 and 1 stayed the same. Endless Winter and Dead Reckoning.
So yeah, some of the ones that were on my short list: Revive, Forests of Pangaea, Amsterdam, Tenpenny Parks. I think it was Trogdor was talking about that. I really liked that game.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
We just played on a whim. We were at
Yeah. This is like my
West Texas
13
Con,
now. It
and
just missed the list.
I was just grabbing 2022 light games to play, and I
I
grabbed that one.
loved that. Yes, I'm a fickle gamer. I embrace it, Nathan. But yes, oh man, I really enjoyed Tenpenny Parks. That one was a lot of fun. The theme was kind of funky. That's not usually a theme I'd be like all excited about, but it worked so well with that game, and it was just a lot of fun. I totally forgot about Hippocrates and stuff too, but yeah, it wouldn't be on my top 15 right now. There's so many good games. Planet Unknown, Mosaic, those are just below. Again, it's just they didn't quite make that top 10. And I saw one big game that we haven't played yet that I know we want to play, Clank Catacombs.
Yeah, we tried to get that
We
one.
want to
It
get
was
that
checked
one.
out most of BGG Con. It
man.
was on my list to play. So yeah. that's
We
one.
did get to play Heat. That was the other big flashy game.
But is that 2022? I thought it was 2023.
Is it?
I don't know.
I thought it was
I don't
2022.
know.
I thought it was.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't make my list. Though.
I'll have to look.
I think it's
I'll see.
2023.
I could have sworn it was 2022.
2023? Maybe.
I think it's 2022.
All right, that's it for this time, folks.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I think it is on my list. I think it was in the midway down my list of games. That I did.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the scoop, folks. Rebecca is heading up to Wyoming to visit family
Peace out.
starting Monday.
Yo.
She's not going to be back for a couple of weeks. So I think our next show is going to be the 27th
Yo.
We're gonna miss 2 shows. So their next show will be June 27th. I'll go ahead and schedule it. It'll be a variety show. I don't know. We probably won't have a lot of games to talk about because she's gonna be gone.
Oh, contrary.
But we've played a few.
Yeah.
We won't have a lot of games to talk about, but
Variety.
We'll have all our weird, wacky new segments, and we'll do some more of those.
I'm excited about those. Let's do some more.
So we will see you guys in, I guess, 3 weeks. That seems like forever. 3 weeks.
Maybe we'll throw in some shorts or something to spice it up.
Wyoming shorts. You can do pictures from the exciting state of Wyoming.
Yeah, and you could do shorts with the cat.
Okay.
The dog.
Feeding the dog shorts.
You love doing those. Yes,
right.
some debriefs for real.
Your mom's in chat. She's watching you.
I know, she's spying on me.
Yeah. All right. We are going to see you in 3 weeks. So enjoy your summer break. Well, if you're in the
U.S.
Well, this part of the world.
I don't know. Does Canada have... Canada, do you guys do year-round schooling?
Yeah. So enjoy your time off. And we'll see you in 3 weeks. I'm going to live the bachelor lifestyle for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
With the pets.
With the pets.
You're a wild, wild man.
I'm wild.
Yep. Bachelor lifestyle.
Playing video games and crying.
Feeding the pets. And crying. Oh my gosh.
We'll see you in 3 weeks. Enjoy your break. And we'll try to do some shorts here and there. Bye.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
We're gonna miss you guys. Bye. 3 weeks. That's forever. That's a long time. 3 weeks. Wow. You're going to Wyoming though.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.